Hello, my friend. How are you today? Mr. Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, is easily the bestseller of a book of all time. It has impacted thousands and thousands of men and women who have read and adopted the principles discussed in the book. In today's episode, we look at episode number 5, which is Faith, the Second Step to Riches. Every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by doing so can one be sure of maintaining that state of mind known as a burning desire to win, essential to success. This is especially true for entrepreneurs, digipreneurs, monopreneurs, solopreneurs, mompreneurs, dadpreneurs, affiliate marketers, digital marketers, online marketers, and businessmen or businesswomen. You can check out the earlier episodes of this series in the link provided. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. The emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions. Love and faith are psychic and related to the spiritual side of man. Sex is purely biological and related only to the physical. The blending of these three emotions has the effect of opening a direct line of communication between the finite thinking mind of man and infinite intelligence. How to develop faith? The principle of autosuggestion transmutes desire into its physical or monetary equivalent. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. Let's consider, for example, the purpose for which you're listening to this podcast, or if you're reading this blog on my website shashidharcn.com/blog, which is to acquire the ability to transmute the intangible thought impulse of desire into its physical counterpart, money. Following the principles of autosuggestion, one can convince the subconscious mind to provide us the faith for getting whatever we desire. The method by which one can develop faith is difficult to describe, as it would be to describe the color red to a blind man, a person who has never seen color and has nothing to compare with the description offered. Faith is a state of mind which one may develop at will after having mastered the 13 principles, because it is a state of mind which develops involuntarily through application and use of these principles. Repetition of affirmation of orders to the subconscious mind is the only known method of voluntary development of the emotion of faith. As per the words of a famous criminologist, when men first come into contact with crime, they abhor it. If they remain in contact with crime for a time, they become accustomed to it and endure it. If they remain in contact with it long enough, they finally embrace it and become influenced by it. This is the equivalent of saying that any impulse of thought which is repeatedly passed on to the subconscious mind is finally accepted and acted upon by the subconscious mind, which proceeds to translate that impulse into its physical equivalent by the most practical procedure available. All thoughts which have been emotionalized and mixed with faith begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent or counterpart. The emotions are the factors which give thoughts vitality, life, and action. The emotions of faith, love, and sex, when mixed with any thought impulse, give it greater action than any of these emotions can do singly. Thought impulses mixed with faith and either positive or negative emotions may reach and influence the subconscious mind. This explains the strange phenomena which many refer to as misfortune or bad luck. There are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They create their own misfortunes because of their negative beliefs, which are then picked up by the subconscious mind and translated into its physical equivalent. Belief or faith is the element which determines the action of the subconscious mind. There is nothing to hinder a person from deceiving their subconscious mind when giving it instructions through autosuggestion, just as Mr. Hill deceived his son's subconscious mind. If you missed this earlier episode, you can check it out at point number 1 in the list of the previous podcast episodes provided along with this podcast. Perfection will come through practice. It cannot come by merely reading instructions. The mind finally takes on the nature of the influences which dominate it. Understanding this truth will help us to understand why it's essential for us to encourage the positive emotions as dominating forces of our mind and discourage and eliminate negative emotions. A mind dominated by positive emotions becomes a favorable abode for the state of mind known as faith. A mind so dominated can, at will, give the subconscious mind instructions which will be accepted and acted upon immediately. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. Since time immemorial, we have been told by religious leaders to have faith, but they have not told people how to have faith. They have not stated that faith is a state of mind and that it may be induced by autosuggestion. Have faith in yourself, faith in the infinite. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the element, the chemical, which when mixed with prayer gives one a direct communication with infinite intelligence. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the finite mind of man into the spiritual equivalent. Faith is the only agency through which the cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by man. Every one of the foregoing statements is capable of proof. This proof is simple and can be easily demonstrated. It is based on the principle of autosuggestion. It is well known that we come to believe whatever we repeat to ourselves, whether the statement is true or false. If we repeat a lie over and over, we will eventually accept that as truth. Each of us are what we are because of the dominating thoughts which we permit to occupy our mind. Thoughts which are mixed with any of the feelings of emotions constitute a magnetic force which attracts from the vibrations of the ether other similar or related thoughts. A thought which is so magnetized with emotion may be compared to a seed which, when planted in fertile soil, germinates, grows, and multiplies itself over and over again, until that which was originally one seed becomes countless millions of seeds of the same brand. The ether is a great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. It is made up of both destructive vibrations and constructive vibrations. It carries vibrations of fear, poverty, disease, failure, misery, and vibrations of prosperity, health, success, and happiness, and other sounds as well. From this great storehouse of ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with the dominating thoughts in our mind. Any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one's mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives, adds these relatives to its own force, and grows until it becomes the dominating, motivating master of the individual in whose mind it has been housed. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought. Write out a statement of your major purpose or definite chief aim. Commit to memory. Repeat it in audible words day after day until these vibrations of sound have reached your subconscious mind. We are what we are because of the vibrations of thought which we pick up and register through the stimuli of our daily environment. Resolve to throw off the influences of any unfortunate environment and to build your own life to order. Taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self confidence. This handicap can be surmounted and timidity translated into courage through the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. The application of this principle may be made through a simple arrangement of positive thought impulses stated in writing, memorized, and repeated until they become a part of the working equipment of the subconscious faculty of your mind. So, how can we harness the power of faith? Stay tuned to further episodes as we reveal more about the power of faith and desire, coupled with other principles mentioned in the book Think and Grow Rich. Since you have been listening this far, I know that you are serious and committed to change your life. I want to help you. I am offering you 3 free courses which are in the link provided along with this podcast. Feel free to check them out and it can change your life. Do you agree with whatever we have discussed in this episode today? Share, like, and comment, and let us have an enriching conversation on this topic which troubles all entrepreneurs and digipreneurs. If you want to read this on my blog, you can either visit the link or visit shashidarcn.com/blog to do so. If you prefer to watch a shorter version on video, you can check out either my blog where you will find a link, or you can visit shashidarcn.com/vlogs. If you want to buy this book and experience its magical powers, you can visit my blog in the link provided. This podcast contains excerpts and is adapted from the book Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich, LBA, the Kindle edition. Thank you and stay tuned for more episodes in this series on Think and Grow Rich. Till then, take care and be safe. Bye bye.